Hello, my name's Ross, and I'm a Meghead. That said, today we're going to look at the anatomy of a scene. And these last 2 days, there have been a number of trailer releases of a first initial trailer for the Meg 2, The Trench. And this presentation will look at a specific scene using images compiled from 3 Meg 2 trailers: the domestic trailer, the Chinese trailer, and the Japanese trailer. The image you're seeing now is from the Chinese trailer. So first of all, we have to consider where the scene takes place. Now, the scene we're going to be breaking down is a scene of Jonas ending up on this deck, running away from the Meg, and having his Quint moment, which we'll talk about more later. Now, generally speaking, most initial trailers focus on 2 or 3 scenes in a film. In this case, one of the places that all 3 trailers focus on is what I call Party Cove. This is Party Cove. Party Cove is full of boats, people having a good time, and it's connected to the beach by a long wooden jetty that leads out to a party platform. So let's talk about it. See these palm trees on top of that roof in both shots? Now you flick back, you can see the 2 palm trees on top of the roof, back on the party deck, if you will. So we can place the scene there. Now Jonas rolls into this position and he's looking back towards the shore at this point. But he sees something that's an issue. He sees a Meg. Right? So he rolls onto the deck. And because that Meg is coming, he decides, well, I really have no option but to go out to sea along this deck. This Meg is plowing forward at pretty intense speeds, and it's all that Jonas can do to keep in front of it. He, in the top right picture, he is within that wall of spray and flying wooden boards. So he rolls onto this deck, extends toward the shore, but he can't go that way because the Meg is coming from that direction, causing him to have to go to where the party jam was going down earlier. Now that whole area has been evacuated, so we have some idea of the placement of the scene. There's floating debris all around, which you'll see in the pictures. So, Meg is forcing Jonas out to sea along this decking. It can blast to kindling simply by its propulsion. Let's see what happens next. Well, the Meg really truly busts through this deck and essentially makes this ramp that Jonas tries his best to get up, but is unable to get up before the Meg reaches him. Now, in the top right shot, you have a good view of the party deck, if you will. And you can see he's probably, if we're being generous, about halfway out to it. We have no idea why he's going there because the trailer doesn't show us. It doesn't even show us him getting much further than this. But what you're trying to do is to place this scene. And we also note that in the bottom shot, we can see that the Meg has an awful lot of chains hanging off. It's not because he's a gangster. It's because he's caught up in the chains. But where are these chains from? We'll find out in a second. But we can see Jason lifting up his leg for his Quint moment. So here we go. It's Quint from Jaws. That's what this scene is referencing. He's not kicking the shark, because that would go really, really badly. Really badly. He's just trying to get a bit of help so he doesn't slide into the shark's mouth, which is what Quint was trying to stop from happening in Jaws as well. But it didn't work out so well for Quint. It does work out well for Jonas. You can see the debris flying from this deck. There's a piece of it top center of the shot. So really, this is a homage to Jaws, to Quint's moment. And not a silly action beat of Jonas trying to kick a shark. It would really just annoy the shark if anything else. Because this shark is the large Meg. The largest Meg in the film. So, the Meg is ensnared by these chains. He's wrapped up in them pretty good. They're taut, but they're not secure. Okay? So, during this scene, we don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know how long that stalemate's going to last. Remember, sharks have to be moving forward in order to get oxygenated water so they can breathe. So, obviously, the shark is able to move and breathe. And he's putting an immense strain on these chains. And eventually those chains are going to break. So on the butt, you can see in this right-hand shot, it's a shot with Jason getting his butt up so we can run past the camera, you know. But where were the chains? They were underneath all this decking and all this stuff. This is the one shot I used from the Japanese trailer for this presentation. I advise you to find the Japanese trailer because it's really good. A lot more shots of underwater stuff down in the trench and some more shots from here. So this is where the chains were, and they got caught on the shark, and he was swimming around chasing down Jonas, smashing through the pier. And this is the last moments of the scene that we have in the trailer. The shark is able to kind of shrug the chains off a little bit and jump down further forward. But that's all we know. That's all that we know that happens in the scene because they haven't shown us any more of it in any of the other trailers. We don't know how he's going to get out of the situation. We don't know if he's going to be able to continue to the main floating party deck, as I call it. We just don't know. But, here's the but we can place this scene within the film, and that's part of what I wanted to do with this scene breakdown. So, warp speed recap. Jonas rolls onto the deck, pulls himself out of the water, I'm assuming, rolls himself onto the deck, sees that the Meg is coming, and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. Then the deck collapses, the shark tries to eat him, he manages to prop his foot up, shark fights against the chains, gets through-ish, jumps down on the pier, but Jonas is able to jump off onto the next section of the jetty or the pier or whatever you want to call it. So that's what we know. That's the recap of the scene that we're able to edit together. We know that instead of going toward land, he was forced to go toward the party island that you can see in the fourth image. So, this is when I enter my Drax phase of this slideshow presentation. When is the scene? So, there's some hints by looking at the imagery. The party deck is clear, as much as we can tell. So unless there's someone hiding on there, and that's why, Jonas is going out there. Maybe one of the cast members, maybe the little girl's out there. But that's all just speculation right now. But we can say that it takes place after the Megavator scene with the pedal boat and after all the other party scenes. There doesn't seem to be the octopus anymore, so that scene's passed, and there's multiple reasons as I'm saying that. The Chinese trailer shows some pretty major spoilery footage of that, which I didn't include in this presentation. We can place it after the helicopter crash because there's helicopter debris in the water. And as I said, we can place it between after the battle between the Meg and the Giant Octopus, since the Meg is wrapped in those chains. And And the octopus was hugging those in the slide I originally included, but replaced with the one of the Meg swimming through the chains. Who is the scene? Who is the scene? Well, we know for sure that there are two main cast members in this scene. Jonas and the large Meg. Why is the scene? Well, the Meg wants to show its beautiful teeth to Jonas, and Jonas wants to stay away from those beautiful teeth. Seriously though, something is either going to plan or not for Jonas to be willingly running away from shore on a wooden deck that the Meg can turn into toothpicks. We don't know the reason why he's running out to sea. I hope they don't ruin it in another trailer, because I want there to be some surprise in this scene that we haven't considered before. It seems like a lot of action takes place around this party cove, so I want us to not get too spoiled with it through all the trailers. Who am I? Well, I mentioned my name's Ross, and that I am a Meghead, and that's true. I read the advanced reading copy of Meg, A Novel of Deep Terror, by my friends at Walden Books. I worked there from 1999 to 2003 at Walden Books. But before I worked there, I was just a very frequent shopper there because I loved reading. And they got in an advanced reading copy of the Meg, and they knew I liked that kind of stuff, so they gave it to me. And basically, when you worked there, I found out, a couple of years later when I started working there, they let you check out books from the store like a library and read them, keep them in good condition, and bring them back. Well, in this case, they lent me the advanced reading copy of the Meg, and they let me keep it, for which I'm eternally grateful. So, I've been a Meghead since 1997, and before. So Meg and the Meg series. Steve is real close to my heart. And as a writer and a screenwriter, I know that films often have to take a bit of license with their original subject matter in order to get made into films and make it to the big screen. So, having taken that into account, I'm just loving that we're getting a Meg universe at the moment, and it's my hope, looking at all three trailers, is there is quite a lot of dark stuff in it. There's some scenes that are very reminiscent of The Trench. It looks like we're trying to train Megs. It looks like there's a scene in what could be the canal in the Chinese trailer. The American trailers, the domestic trailers, are always fun and punchy and hooked up to some sort of cover track. And, it actually started off well, the domestic trailer. It started off pretty intense, but it got less and less intense as it went on. And the Japanese and the Chinese trailers are fantastic. So I think taking all that footage into consideration, and the fact that basically in order to get a book or a series of books made into a film, there has to be some give and some take. And what I'm seeing from these three trailers is that I think that this is going to be amazing. I'm in my mid-40s. I'm a screenwriter. I'm an actor. And I can't wait to see what Meg 2 The Transcend has in store for us Megheads. And for everyone else. Because clearly the general public loved the first film. And that is the reason why we're getting a second. So I really do hope that when this film comes out, it'll do just as well in the box office, or even better, so we can keep this Meg cinematic universe going full speed ahead. And that's it. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So this has been Ross breaking down a scene, and we'll see how it goes. This is something I love doing with trailers, is trying to figure out things before the film hits. Oh, by the way, in this screenshot, you've probably seen some scenes of Jonas on the yellow jet ski. The 3 Megs are in all of those scenes. Now, we've seen a shot where a Meg comes up, like, right under Jonas. Jonas is right in the center on that yellow jet ski. So, there's going to be a lot to this scene. He's wearing those 3 tracking devices. So, from this one screenshot, I can place this image probably sometime before any of the party stuff goes down. Or it could be, much to my shock, that maybe, just maybe, this will be after that, where they're still trying to figure out a way to track all 3 of these guys. So, there I am trying to break down another scene out of one picture. I can't even finish right. Thanks for joining me. You guys are awesome. And maybe, just maybe, I'll do a little bit of a breakdown of another scene in the future, or maybe pretty quickly, because there's a lot of footage of underwater disaster scenes in the new Japanese trailers, so I might throw something together out of that. It's quite complex. There's a lot that's going to be going down underwater at that base, because a lot of the shots from the domestic trailer don't go together. Of course. Why would they? They're trying to tease us, people. Anyway, I love you all. Have fun. Get hyped. This is going to rock. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.